What's going on, you guys? You already know who it is, your girl Pretty P of the Potluck podcast on quarantine cooking. Today we're making chicken flautas with queso. So turn those listening ears on and get your skillets ready because we're going to show you how to make this delicious meal at home. For starters, we're going to be boiling some chicken in crushed red pepper, Cajun seasoning, garlic salt, seasoned salt, paprika, onion powder, cayenne pepper, and salt. Then we'll have our bay leaves and rosemary to bring out a tasty flavor. Then we'll boil the chicken for about 30 minutes and you should get something that looks like this. After that, we'll remove the chicken from the boil, and since we're making flautas, we're gonna have to shred up this chicken. So we're gonna use our hands to go ahead and break up the chicken, ensuring that we'll have nice little pieces of chicken in our flautas. You'll understand later when you get to rolling your actual tortillas why the size of the shredded chicken is fairly important. You want to break it down real good. You want to make sure you're discarding any fatty pieces from the chicken because you don't want that in your flauta. And even though we boiled this chicken, we want to ensure that that flavor stays on the chicken once we put it in the fryer. So we're actually going to saute our chicken with 2 tablespoons of butter, Cajun spice, cayenne pepper, paprika, seasoned salt, and pepper. And don't forget your onion powder. Now you're going to saute that until it looks nice and seasoned and you're ready to cut your veggies. First thing on the chopping block is the green onions. We're going to be putting that in our queso to give it a savory onion flavor taste. I love green onions, or chives as you call them, because they do bring out that flavor in certain dishes, especially our homemade queso. Now next, we'll have the tomatoes. These portion of veggies will also be put in our queso for flavoring, taste, and of course, color. Next, we'll have onions, which is my least favorite veggie to cut. So, of course, I made D West do it. The onions we're cutting up now are actually going to go inside of our chicken flautas. So we're going to dice them up real nice and get ready to go ahead and throw them in the skillet. Next, we'll get spicy with the jalapenos. Of course, we're going to dice those up and put them in our queso to make it a little spicy. I am more of a spicy food lover than D West is, so we won't put that many jalapenos in there, and we'll end up balancing it out with the green onion. Now let's saute those onions. They're gonna be for the chicken in our chicken flautas. So we're gonna butter up a skillet and caramelize those onions real good. We want to make sure when we actually start sauteing them, we get them to a nice brown color. Once they turn that color, we're good to go. Once we're done, we can just put those sauteed onions in the chicken, and when you're ready, you can mix it all together. Next, it's time to make our queso. We're going to start with some condensed cheddar cheese. We're going to crack that thing open and put it in a pot. Now, we're not going to stop there. We're going to make our cheese extra creamy by using what, people? You guessed it, milk. Once we're done stirring this up, we're gonna add our delicious veggies that we want to put in our queso. And that's tomatoes, of course, for flavor. We also got, for spice, our jalapenos. Give it a little kick. And like I said, it's to your taste buds. So if you want more, put more. Then of course our green onions, also known as chives, to balance out that spice and savory flavor. The next part is my favorite part of making flautas, okay? This is a part where you show your rolling skills, okay? We're gonna take those tortillas and stuff and roll those bad boys with our chicken onion mixture, and don't forget your cheese. Now, in order to secure your flauta, when it's time for you to go ahead and fry these tortillas, you want to make sure you're rolling and stuffing these tacos proportionate and tight, okay? Usually you ain't rolling right if you're rolling tight, but in this instance, when we're talking about flautas, the tighter, the better, baby. So make sure you're rolling them tight and securing and tucking those tortillas, you guys, because it's so easy when they get in that fryer to unravel, especially corn tortillas. I'm sure you're watching this video thinking, what kind of tortillas should I use? Honestly, when it comes to cooking your own food, it really doesn't matter how you tweak your style. Traditionally, flautas are made with corn tortillas, but I love the soft, fluffy taste of a fried flour tortilla when I'm eating my flautas and dipping it in my queso. It's all a personal preference, but either way, both styles are good. Both styles will be tasty and definitely a good meal for you and your loved ones at home. When you're about done rolling your tortillas, you're almost at one of the final steps of making your homemade flautas. It's one of my least favorite parts because you have to be very observant with your tortillas, making sure they're not burnt or unravel. It's fry time. Heat your oil on high, and when ready, drop your flauta face down in your oil so your flauta won't unravel. Turn tortillas once they're golden, and when they are ready, go ahead and pull from the grease. You want to make sure you're pressing down on your tortilla while it's in the grease to secure it well. Turning it as you go, and you just kind of want to get that motion intact because you're going to constantly be turning it, because as you're turning it, it's cooking, and it doesn't take too long to be in the grease. I'd say less than a minute for each of them. You just have to make sure you're watching your tortilla. And once it gets that right amount of golden that you want it, go ahead and pull it out because your chicken's already cooked. Alright, next you guys, D-West is going to give you some tips on how to fry your corn tortillas. Talk to him.
Alright y'all, I'm going to give y'all some tips real quick on how to fry these corn tortillas. Number one tip, you put the flap down first. Because if you put it the other way, it might unfold and you're going to have a messed up tortilla. And that's messing up the whole process. The number two step is you got to make sure it's crispy. It's corn tortillas, so you gotta keep it in there a little longer just so it can crisp up when it starts getting that light skin color. Keep it there a little longer. We don't want that light skin, we want it like caramel, okay? And then after that, you're good to go.
Good to go is right, you guys. So if you listen and follow all the steps me and D West have given you, you'll have your own homemade flautas at home. Forget about Taco Cabana. You can have Taco Cabana in your own kitchen. Man, let them know, D West, because I think they think it takes a little more effort than just your own willpower.
Hey, cooking at home is real easy. All you need to do is stop being lazy and put in the time and effort, and you're going to come out with delicious food.
No, facts. The key to making good food and loving to make good food at home is patience, hard work, and following directions, and adding your own creativity sometimes. So forget about Taco Bell and Taco Casa, because after this tutorial, you'll be making your own flautas at your own casa. And there you have it, homemade corn and flour tortilla chicken flautas with our homemade queso. Enjoyed this content? Like, comment, and subscribe. Till next time on Quarantine Cooking.